welcome back to South African Prepper. So for today's video on how to prep forever foods, subtitled. So it's very important that when you start preparing, and these are some of the mistakes that we've actually made in the past, is that we actually tried to go and buy too many fancy things without taking into consideration that many of the things that you are storing away and buying extra should actually be able to last quite a long time in order for you to actually be able to stockpile and prepare properly for the collapse of an economy, or in our case the collapse of South Africa. So I've made a list of what we call forever food, so how to prepare forever food, and it's a fairly simple list. It's a list that you can buy from pretty much any store in any part of the world, except for obviously if you're from Venezuela, Iran, Zimbabwe, which are all three countries that have collapsed in the last, let's call it, 5 years. These are foods that are easy to store, and these are foods that are fairly easy to get from most of the stores around us in South Africa as well. So on our list, on number one is honey. Now honey is fantastic because honey has been proven to last forever. It does over time become a little bit sugary, but what you can do is if you put it in the sun or in the sunlight for 10 to 20 minutes, it actually then goes back to its normal form, or normal liquid honey form. Our next forever food list is stew cubes. Now these are cubes in different flavors. In South Africa we get them in chicken and beef and oxtail. These are little cubes packed in little foil packets, and we have personally seen these cubes last for years and years. Now if you are going to be stockpiling things like pasta and rice and samp, which in South Africa we do, and all sorts of corns, all sorts of dry foods, using these stew cubes are fantastic, and they will last you forever and ever and ever. Next on our list for forever food is hardtack. Now these are those hard biscuits. You can actually take out a tooth with it or kill somebody with it. Now if you take one of those stew cubes, put it in hot water and then chuck that stew over your hardtack, it will actually assist you in a fairly easy meal for that specific day. Next on our forever list, and these are two separate items, but we're going to combine them for this video, is salt. Now salt in South Africa has got various uses. Your body actually needs salt. We use salt for the preservation of meat. So we make what the Americans call barbecue sticks. We call it biltong in South Africa. It's basically meat that are spiced and left to dry, and it does last quite a long time. So salt and sugar, if kept dry and in a dark place, will pretty much last you forever. That's now if you do keep it dry. That is the key. Next on our list for forever food in South Africa is Worcester sauce. Or in the first world countries, you've got soya sauces. Now Worcester and soya sauces are both vinegar based, and they tend to last for years and years. So again, if you keep them in a cool, dry place, and you make sure that the bottles don't break, your Worcester sauce or your soya sauce will actually last you many years. And next on our list is vinegar. Now in South Africa we battle to find apple cider vinegar, so we are able to find the normal white or brown vinegar. The white vinegar for our purpose does last quite a long time, and vinegar has got 101 uses, anything from cleaning to disinfecting to preserving. Vinegar has got such a big, wide variety of uses, it's not even funny. Next on our forever list is coffee, but specifically instant coffee. So we normally buy them in a tin tin cans, and then it is obviously sealed with a plastic lid over it. And instant coffee will last you, they reckon, more than 10 years if you do keep it dry. So it's the same as salt and sugar. If you keep it dry, instant coffee will last you many years. And in the time to come, because South Africa, we don't produce coffee, we actually import our coffee. We don't have coffee trees growing or coffee plantations in South Africa. This will become quite a good barter item for you, instant coffee. And then this one is quite funny. We had to test this one ourselves. Is 2-minute noodles. Now 2-minute noodles, they come in a small square bag. Inside of it, inside or with the dried noodles, you get a little flavoring bag. It's fairly cheap. We pay in South Africa, depending on the brand that you buy. We tend to buy the more expensive brand because we prep and we do keep our stuff quite long. You get a little flavor bag with it. We tend to buy the Maggi 2-minute noodles. Now the reason why we decided on Maggi 2-minute noodles is because firstly it will last you forever, and secondly it's an easy fast meal to prepare. Chuck some hot water in with the noodles, with the flavoring, leave it for about 2 to 3 minutes or to 5 minutes depending on how hot the water is. Allow it to soak up all the water, and it's an easy fast meal, and it's fairly cheap, and most children in South Africa actually love 2-minute noodles. Next on our forever list is hard liquor. Hard liquor, we refer to anything that's got 40% plus alcohol percentage in it, so your vodkas, your tequilas, your whiskies and your brandies. Now we are not very big drinkers, but this will, in times of need, you can use liquor for many reasons. You can, again, disinfecting, to take the edge off, because we are anticipating that in the collapse people will be emotionally and physically broken down. In South Africa, we're quite a violent nation, and we expect stuff to become extremely hard in South Africa. And then last on our list for forever foods is powdered milk. And our powdered milk in South Africa is very expensive, but they reckon that powdered milk stored away properly, again, we store them in our crates, and inside the crates we then vacuum seal the specific product, and then we put it in the crates, and then we seal the crate off. So we are creating a cold and a dry place within the crate itself, and then where we store away the crate from there on is also a cool and a dry place. So our forever foods, I'll be honest with you, we've got forever foods that has been going for 5+ years that we decided to break open and test, and a lot of them, well, I would reckon about most of the things that we broke open on this list the last 5 or 6 years that we left in storage has been good to use. So we will continue the way we are preparing in South Africa on this specific way. So powdered milk, very expensive in South Africa, but powdered milk will work with any and everything. If you are in trouble somewhere out in South Africa, and you need a quick fast meal, a bit of milk powder with cereal, a bit of milk powder with rice, a bit of milk powder with maybe rice, or I'm trying to think of the word now, but milk gives you a wide variety of things to use with, and this is why we keep milk, and it also will last you about 10 years. So that's our list for forever foods: honey, stew cubes, hard liquor, hardtack, salt and sugar, soya sauce or Worcester sauce, vinegar, instant coffee, 2-minute noodles, and then powdered milk. Please like and subscribe and share. Let's try and grow this channel. Thank you very much, South African Prepper here.